Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And alongside the live stream that we also got 4 new skill fusions for Christmas characters, Festive Memories characters. Now, there are a little bit of differences between the JP and English version, but we'll look at the English version first, and then I'll just point out the differences that the JP version has. Only 4 of them, but we do have, I think, some solid picks and picks that were ones that I called, mainly because they were the only ones they could really do. Because if we look at the Festive Memories team, it's not exactly what you would call huge. So out of the possible skill fusion characters, it was Idol Shuna, Veldora, Velzard, and Shizu. Because Maid Rimuru and Wind Lumi already have double skill fusions, so they can't do anything more. And Shion is free to play. So the 4 characters that could have gotten them did get them. So let's take a look at the English side first. So Wind Veldora, it's his debuff skill. Previously, 25% pierce power down and then stacking green orb damage. Useless mechanic. They've changed that, so now it's a 60% pierce resistance down, or pierce power down, sorry. Enemies will do less damage when they're activating pierce. And then gives all allies a 15% continuous heal for 2 turns. So they've completely eliminated the orb damage, which is good, because that is a stupid thing. And he's given now people a continuous heal, which does work well with the Wind 2.0 team, because you've got a continuous heal here, you've got the heal from Wind Lumi, Maid Rimuru is giving you extra HP and guard and defense and all that. So it does make sense. He's not what I would say like a mainline healing unit, but he certainly has a lot more viability with healing than it does green orb damage right here. So that's a good thing. And then pierce power down means that just if you're gonna get pierced by an enemy, it's just gonna do less damage, which is good. Fire Velzard, interesting buff, especially knowing that some characters are gonna get EX upgraded. I think she's gonna have a lot of value. So her attack skill got buffed, not her double orb steal, which is fine. It used to be a 30% attack buff for herself and a 40% alt damage buff, both for herself at 15 points. The cost for this actually is in contention, because for the JP it says 15 and global it says 25. The JP version is generally correct. The global version, unfortunately, always has some kind of error in translation. So I would believe that this is still a 15-point skill, but the effect is better now. So now increases Fire or Festive Memories characters' physical attack by 30%. So instead of getting an attack buff, it's now a physical attack buff, and instead of just being for herself, it's for all Fire and Festive Memories allies, which can make a difference. And then it buffed her alt damage from 40 to 100%, which is hefty, to say the least. And at a 15-point cost, and if and when she gets upgraded to EX and she gets an EX alt with now a 30% physical buff and a 100% alt buff, like that's going to be some power right there. She's going to be a very good AoE physical DPS when she gets her EX upgrade, whenever that happens to be. So I think she's going to have a lot of future value in sooner rather than later. Christmas Shizu, her first skill, or her fire attack skill, was already skill fused, so they only had one skill they could do, and this is her AoE buff. I don't know why it costs 55 points on this screen, but it should be 15. Christmas Shizu's second skill does not cost 55 points. Her first skill costs 55 points. The second skill does not. So, again, global having issues. But it used to be AoE resistance down by 15% and all allies pierce power 15%, both for 2 turns. Now it is a 50% on this screen. However, again on JP, it is a 40%. 40% AoE debuff down, and then a 30% pierce power up now for 3 turns. So they've more than doubled the AoE resistance down, and they doubled the pierce power, and they added an extra turn. So for 15 costs, this is now a much better skill, and it's very cheap. And this, I mean, we have a lot of AoE fire characters, or just characters in general. So this is actually pretty dang good. 40% AoE resistance down is 10% more than what Octagram Lumi is doing. And we know how good that buff is because it's a multiplicative buff. So adding another 10% on top of that just means you're going to get a little bit extra damage out of your AoE attacks. And then Pierce Power, I mean, if you're piercing, that's good. It's a temporary buff, but they do last for 3 turns, which is a long time. So I think Shizu got a very good buff. I think Velzard got a very good buff for being a damage dealer. And then we move on to Idol Shuna. So I was, during my speculation video, I said that they could do it to either skill and they couldn't really mess it up. I wouldn't say they messed Shuna up, but they definitely didn't really do as much as I thought they would. So it's her synergy skill. All allies guaranteed synergy, and then magic allies get a 40% synergy power buff. Now, for the same cost, it is everybody gets synergy, the same. And now magic or festive memories allies get a 50% synergy power buff. So because festive memories characters, a lot of them are physical, like these 3 and Momiji, and this whole incoming meta, they did have to make that a little bit different to make it usable for them. So they've added festive memories as a force to the buff, and they've only increased it by 10%. So again, I said it'd be very hard to mess it up. I think they kind of messed Shuna up. This should have been an unrestricted synergy power buff, and honestly, it should be higher. At the point that we have EX Unbounds, and we literally just got Diablo, who does 100%, like, they could have made this Shuna competitive. Maybe not 100% competitive, but they could have given her an unrestricted synergy buff and bumped it to, like, at least 60 or 70%. Like, at least. Like, this is peanut damage right here. The fact that we get festive memories, like, ooh, cool, whoop-de-doo, we can use it for the new meta team. This is, the incoming meta is not green orb focused, so her green alt swap isn't really going to do much for them. So they did make it better, but again, it's kind of a, yeah, you sure did change something, didn't you? Congratulations, kind of scenario. So Veldora, they had to make the skill better. Like, it is objectively a much better skill now. That's good. I don't know if I'm going to use him for his continuous heal, but his skill got better. Velzard, I think in the future when she gets the EX upgrade, will have a lot of value as a fire nuking character, and since she's so very old, chances are players probably have her unless they're brand new starting out. Christmas Shizu was already a fairly good fire support character, and now she's even better. So objectively, she's got really good value. And then Idol Shuna is kind of a disappointment, but technically she also did get better. So those are the skill fusions incoming for the Festive Memories meta of late November/December of 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which skill fusion do you like the most? And if you could change anything about one of them that's not Shuna, because we all know we would change her, what would you have done to the other 3 characters to make them even better? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you all later tonight.